You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black. All right, all right, all right. This is live, uncut, unedited. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. Come on in. Come on in. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black. All right, people, what y'all doing this midnight? Y'all supposed to be laid up with your significant other, with your husband or your wife. And I just come on live. I took an early nap today. I said, well, let me come on live. I had to set my equipment back up because actually when I went out to hold a podcast yesterday, I had to take my equipment down and go deal with that. So we have an open discussion tonight. You already know what it is. You already know what it. You already know what it is. Live, come on uncut, in, come on in, unedited. Tell the truth. My goodness, okay, I didn't hear myself. Devil. I hear myself now. I love being black. All right, appreciate y'all. Come on in. Let me know where y'all checking in at. Chicago, South Side, another country, another state. Check in, and we're going to talk about anything tonight. Anything. It's open discussion. I haven't done this in a long time, so I'm welcome you guys to let's talk about some things, and that means we don't have to get stuck on one subject, and we can just bounce all over the place today. My number is 872-299-07. I'm sorry, 872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. All right. Come on in, people. All right. Lisa Chin, Inglewood, Minnesota. Tone, hey, Tone, I called you tonight. You didn't pick up. I called you tonight, man. All right. What's up, Raven? It's Raven Harris. All right. Come on in. Let me adjust the screen a little bit. Just a little bit. I want to see. Just a little bit. All right there. Right there. Right there. That's good. Right there. Live, uncut, unedited. We got open discussion tonight. The phone lines are open, people. Let's get started. We got New York in the house. What's up, Faye? Raven, Minnesota. Lisa Chin, Inglewood. All right, girl. Inglewood in the house. Tone. All right. Come on in, people. Where you located? My phone was dead. My bad. Okay, no problem. I ain't want none. I'm just checking in anyway with you. I still got your tools, so don't forget. I still got your tool. Don't forget. All right, come on in, people. Come on in. This is live, uncut, unedited. I got a good hour with me. I was supposed to be in work early in the morning, but I took a nap, so I should be good. All right. Vicky, what's going on? What's going on? I see you. I see you. I see you. All right. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit that like button, people. Hit the like button. We live, uncut, unedited. But we tell the truth and shame the devil. Hit that like button. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. All right. I need a call tonight. And somebody up there, y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all come on, let's talk. Some of y'all can't see. Some of y'all on midnight shift. Come on in. We got an open discussion tonight. We could talk about everything. I mean, I'm hearing that it was a woman vice president made a comment to her president that if something ever happened to her, she put a contract out on him and his family. Oh man, that's a terrible thing to say in the public, though. So, all right, make sure you guys hit the like button so they'll know I'm on here tonight. Hit the like button, hit the share button, tag someone because I haven't even tagged nobody tonight. I'm just coming on and have a little discussion. I fixed my equipment up and I said, well, let me get back online and see what's going on. Talk to my people. I think I've been live for 5 days in a row. 5 days in a row. Yeah. That's right. Midnight hours for grown folk. Sharice, I thought you was asleep. I didn't even text you. I text your husband. I called him actually. I thought you was asleep. All right. 872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. Come on in, people. Come on in. This is live, uncut, unedited. Rhonda Thomas, what's going on? What's going on? Now, if you check in, if you're from another state or if you're from Chicago, just check in. I want to know who's listening in tonight. You know, we got a lot of ghost listeners, but that's okay. We love all the listeners. One thing about Dion, what's up, my brother? Inglewood in the house. All right. All right. Open discussion tonight, people. Open discussion tonight. Open discussion. All right. We got an open discussion tonight. I need somebody to call in and start it up. Enion in the house. I got Enion in the house. I got, who else I got in the house? I think I'll say New York in the house, Minnesota in the house, Inglewood. All right. I'm yawning. Y'all excuse me. Roseland in the house. Roseland in the house. Come on, call in, China Dow. Talk to what you want to talk about. Anything I want, we can talk about it. I did. Bill had brought it to my attention that a woman vice president told her president that if something was to happen to her, that she took out a contract on him and his family. That's deep. That is very deep. Not here in Fox Valley in the house. Chicago, Inglewood. What's up, Lisa? Lisa. So I need you guys to call in. The number's on the screen, 872-297-6389. I know some of y'all bored. I'm bored tonight too. And I wanted to have a conversation. Come on here. And man, let's talk. I can get two what? $2. Laquita. Oh, well, I think, where my $2? Okay, there we go. Now here we go. Stop all that. All right. Come on, y'all. Let's come on in. Come on in. Let's do this thing. We got an open discussion. Whatever you guys feel like talking about. Because sometimes we get to talk about crime, then y'all get to talk about white folks. Then we get to talk about black people, and vice versa. You get to talk about white people, y'all talk about black people. So today you're feel free to bounce around. Bounce around. Kenny Nicole in the house. What's up, Kenny Nicole? I see you. I see you. Thank you for your prayers and your support and all that. All right, people, come on, let's get started. I'm ready. Tell the truth. Come on. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. And what? And shame the devil. I love being black. All right, black folk, this is our time to speak out. Rise and shine. Or sleep and don't eat. Come on, let's get ready. All right. All right, let's roll, people. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Everybody's up in this midnight hour. Hit the like button. I need some callers. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk, people. I'm ready. I'm ready. This close to midnight hours. It's 11:47 Central Time, Chicago time, PM. Lewis Ramsey, what's up, my brother? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Rhonda Thomas. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. This is live, uncut, unedited. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. We don't beg on this podcast. We don't lie on people. We tell the truth. We don't exaggerate. We don't pull no stunts. It is what it is, and we don't make up no narrative. And that's real talk. That's real talk. We live, uncut, unedited. We tell the truth and shame the devil. I think that's the Philippines. Let me look that up real quick. And I read it. Let me look that up real quick. Vice President, woman vice president. former vice president. Threatens, yeah, of the Philippines. Yeah, that's what I think was the Philippines. Well, the Philippine vice president, publicly threatens to have a president. Okay, let me pull it up. All right, here, well, let's see. All right, let me put it on the screen share. We got a caller coming in. We got a caller. I love being black. I love being black. All right. Ooh. Let's see, screen sharing. All right.
Has joined.
All right. Okay, we got the screen up now, and we can see it. We can see it right here. I'll make it all right. Y'all see the screen right here? The Philippine vice president publicly threats to have the president assassinated. And all right, we got a caller right here. Let's see what the caller's talking about. All right, come on, call. I think that's Bill. That is Bill. Hey, Bill, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Marty?
Let's talk about this now. I hope we don't get beat up talking about this, but we got to talk about it.
Yeah, I saw that earlier on Legacy News, and this is one of the reasons a lot of men feel a woman is not ready to be a president because she was dealing with emotions to get this situation talked about. She should have went about that a different way than letting it get out like that, man. You know, dealing with emotion. Hello?
I'm here. Go ahead. I'm listening. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm reading an article. Yeah.
Dealing with that situation from an emotional point of view when she should have been concentrating on being the full president instead of just the vice president and doing what's right for the people. When you get in high positions, you can't deal off of emotions. You know, you have a responsibility, and women are just not built like a man in situations like that. We all know if it came to it, the woman gonna be a protector. She gonna be a mother in most cases. If you put her in a situation where she got to choose between her own kids or kids, period, she'll back down. Most men won't. We see it all the time.
All right. Anybody else call us? That man, y'all see that? Maybe that's probably why we didn't vote the vice president in. Yeah, emotional. Anybody want to comment to what Bill just said? We'll be happy to have you to comment. And, you know, you got some men, they got emotions like a woman too, Bill. I hate to say it, they just
right.
like a woman. They act just like a woman. Not call them gay now. You don't have to be gay to have similarities of a woman. Come on the emotion side. I call nobody gay, so nobody say I'm on here gay bashing. Yeah. Really.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
We see it every day.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
That's probably half the reason half the killings happen in Chicago in our community because they dealing with a situation like a female, you know, off emotion.
Yeah, and that's crazy, man. You know how many people that's laying in the cemetery right now due to off their emotions? And that's deep.
Yeah.
That is deep. Emotions, man, will carry you to a place that you probably won't be able to come back. You know,
Yeah.
I've seen a woman's emotions. Yeah,
But they say a woman scorned.
yeah, yeah. Rhonda Thomas said, to be emotional is human. It definitely is, but we're talking about controlling your emotions. And that is correct. Keisha Brown says she know a lot of men act like that. I said it. If you was listening, I did say some men are very emotional, like women. And most of our men in the African American community are raised by women in single family homes.
Yeah.
They're raised by women. And that's a fact. That's a given fact. So that's not even that ain't no that's definitely a fact. But people think when these men start being this emotional type in the last week, said, but people think, when did these men start being this emotional type in the last few years? Yeah, I call it she motions. I got that from your wife, Bill. She said a lot of men are
Yep.
she emotional. That's what make men go grab a gun and kill somebody instead of talking it out, man, discussing it out, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But but in a lot of situations, what I've seen in most people from our community, when we talk about emotions with um, a male, should I say, and a female,
Mm.
in most cases, you've seen um, women. And don't get me wrong, I ain't on here. I'm not a woman hater. Got a loving wife I've been with for years. Had a good mother, so it ain't no situation where I I I don't believe I'm a woman hater. I just like to tell the truth.
Tell the
But
truth
um,
and shame the devil. Mm.
in our community, like you say, the detriment part with men is they will uh, uh, be emotional, just like you said. Somebody
Mm.
step on their shoe, uh, looking at them sideways, or if it's any kind of conflict, that's they resolve, and that's
Mm-hmm.
emotional. But on the other hand, with women dealing with their emotions, it don't always be factual, and they will lie. I hardly ever heard of a man calling the police on a woman, period, but definitely not lying on. I've seen so many women call the police on a man and lie on him and say he hit her, and he did,
Mm.
or he pushed her out of his way because he wanted to leave. She wanted to stop him.
Mm.
Those are kind of emotions. Neither wants to have a reason to do certain things, but to go as far as to lie, to manipulate a situation, to have it your way, that's real dangerous, especially when you got some power.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I've been
Yeah.
reading a lot of these comments. Dolores Dean says, "Hey, Dolores, how you doing?" That's a lie. I've seen men do the same. Okay. Call in, Dolores. Talk to us. Talk to us. I'm open for you to talk. Just call in. The number is 872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are making comments in here. Come on. Was it Andrew? Media 2 said when men make dumb mistakes, they don't call it emotional. But when women make mistakes, now it's emotional. That's hypocrisy. We're not talking about mistakes. We're just talking about being emotions, feelings. We ain't talking about no mistakes.
Working off the feeling.
Yeah, working off your feelings. Yeah. Yeah.
It's something I never understood with this show. Like right now, you got all these comments, but won't nobody call in.
I don't understand, y'all. Listen, call in. We got open discussion. I mean, we just talking. We talk about anything. We can talk about Donald Trump. We can talk about Kamala Harris. We can talk about crime. We can talk about relationship. We can talk about whatever. It's open tonight. Normally, I'm on one subject. Then somebody call in and they'll change the subject. But it's open discussion tonight. Oh, look, I got another caller coming up on the board. Wonderful. I hope it's a female. Hope it's a female. That would be nice. Well, if not, it'll make no difference. As long as you call in. The line's open, people. 872-299-0808. Oh, I got another caller coming right in after that. That's what I'm talking about. Call in, people. Call in. Let's talk. Let's have a. All right, that's Dolores just
Has
called in.
joined.
All right. Hey, Dolores, how you doing?
Hey, Martin. Hey,
What's going on? This is
I'm
my
fine, and
hey,
you?
listen, y'all. This is my favorite comedian, but I have not yet to go see her yet, and that's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's terrible. What's going on? Talk to us, comedian. Come on.
So y'all talking about emotions today,
Yes.
and I'm like, everybody has emotions.
Yes.
Everybody. It's human. It's human nature, right?
Right.
And everybody has a certain way of reacting on their emotions, no matter if you're a man or a woman.
Okay.
Okay. So it's not about the man is different from the woman because what? He's a man and he's supposed to be strong. Men have emotions too.
Mm-hmm.
But the way you react to things, it is chaos. And I've seen women act this way and men. So ain't no one better than the other, honestly.
Well,
I didn't think at all.
I want to ask you a question. And I know you've been around. I've been around for quite a while. You're in your young 40s, mid 40s. I'm in my mid 50s. Let me ask you a question. Now, there's a stigma that's going out here and say that men are more logical than women, and women are more emotional than men. Now, you're right what you said, because men are emotional too as well. But they said most women working off their emotions when they make decisions. Is that true in your eyes?
So what? I would have said some years ago, yes, that was true.
Okay.
But now, hell no. Excuse my language.
Uh-huh.
Because I have seen some women that's so stronger than men. I see women working so harder than men. They have no choice but to be strong and put their emotions to the side to survive. While these men sitting back allowing them. So I'm not going to say, no, I can't say that. Because we don't work off emotions no more. Hell no.
Okay.
I'm sorry. And I don't care who don't agree with me or not. I'm going off life. What I didn't see in my life, and what I think in my friend's life, and what I think in my coworkers' life. Women is working more harder than men nowadays. We ain't got no time for emotion. We ain't got no time to sit back and have no feelings. And I'm talking about me. I have no feelings. My feelings is put to the side because I have to work so hard just to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Because these men won't step up. These men are more emotional than anything, even an animal.
Well, can I say something?
But there's a difference.
Go ahead, Bill, because I got a new caller. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
There's a difference between just being a male and a man also.
Now you're talking. Okay, now we're talking about that. You're right. You have a man and you have a boy. Okay?
Yeah, a male. Yep.
Okay, exactly. So I'm with you on that one. Now, if we're talking about that, then that's a different story.
Okay. Well, let's see what this new caller got to say. Y'all, hold on. 6544. Who are you, caller?
Hi, good evening, good evening, good evening.
Oh, I
everyone.
got me another woman on the line. All right, y'all women gonna beat us up tonight. All right, go ahead, sister. Go ahead, my dear sister.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
All right.
I just want to say that I agree with what the sister was just saying. These last, I want to say maybe 10 years, 10, 15 years, our culture and everything has just it has morphed into something when it comes to whether we're talking about emotions or what Martin just mentioned in terms of logic and logical and illogical. These men, based on what I've seen from being a young girl and coming into a grown woman, these men have really changed. And oftentimes, we get blamed, of course, because the majority of us, of course, there are the majority of us who are raising boys
Tell the truth
in
and
family
shame
homes
the
or whatever.
devil.
Shame the devil. Come on.
However, what I noticed with that is oftentimes the single women are often shunned and blamed for things while the behavior of men is often excused. That accountability word that these men nowadays love to throw out, and I'm here to say both men and women need to take accountability for the choices that they make in this life, good or bad. But that word accountability has been weaponized, and particularly against Black women. With that, so men nowadays, and these last, I want to say within this last year, I would say they have become the most irrational, illogical, emotional species that I have ever seen in this lifetime. And I'm not making this up. That's not to say that women, there aren't some women out here, you know, but I get online, I see some of these comments, or if I'm out in public and I hear some of these conversations, and, you know, I have to remember that I am a woman. So I have to kind of, you know, just shake my head and keep it moving. But I hear a lot of stupid and degenerative statements coming from our men.
Can I ask you ladies a question?
lot
I got to ask both of you ladies a question, and whoever want to answer it first, it's okay. Why you think this? Why is it like this? It's got to be what? Okay, since what you guys have said, why are these men so emotional? What's the reason behind it? There's got to be a reason. Maybe you guys have
There's
that
a number
answer
of
too.
mitigating-
Huh?
There's a number of mitigating factors.
Let me hear it.
One of the factors you just said, that one of the biggest things that you just said was that's partially due in part to because a lot of them come from single family homes. But the thing about that is that's totally taking the responsibility of raising a boy. That's taking
Please let me jump in. Let
Okay.
me jump in, please.
Okay.
It's taking that and solely dumping it on our shoulders with that.
You know what?
Where
I'm gonna say this.
when
Hold it,
Go ahead.
hold on, Dolores.
Let
I'm
her
gonna give you a chance.
finish.
Let her finish, Dolores. I'm gonna give you a chance. I'll give you 5 minutes if you need.
no,
it.
but
Go ahead, sister.
what? So, like I was saying, I'm gonna wrap it up because I know she wants to jump in. But oftentimes, women of single parent homes are often blamed for that. But you know, there's a number of mitigating factors. There is, you know, the environment that they're in, the fact that their fathers are shunning them, but that's often not talked about because it solely just gets dumped on the shoulders of women. You know, there may be something that they're dealing with in school that they maybe can't tell their mother or their father. There's just, and they had to grow up with that. And sometimes they internalize things and, you know, it affects them in different ways. But it's a number of reasons why, but oftentimes there's only one reason that's often get pointed to.
Okay, Dolores. There you go.
So I'm gonna say this: as being a mom raising two boys, right? I can't teach my boys how to be a man. You can't. There's no way. All right. Only thing I could do is teach them how to treat a woman, right?
Right.
How to treat a lady. I can't teach them those manly factors that they need in life, like to be a man. You understand me? So that's where the issue stands. The issue stands that there is single parent households, right? That's number one. Because us parents, us women, are trying to raise these boys into men. And it's impossible because we're not a man. Okay? These men don't want to step up. Some of them. I'm not talking about all of them, some of them. That's number one. Number two is this. We got so many women out here that's taking care of these men, enabling them, sheltering them. They living in the
Tell the
household
truth
with them. They
and
taking care
shame
of
the
them. They laying
devil.
on the couch while they at work. They doing 2 and 3 jobs. Don't give me the preaching. While they sitting there waiting on them to come home, or they watching their kids, okay? While the woman is doing everything, and they think this is okay. God said the man is the head and the woman is the neck. What happened? What happened to these men nowadays? This is the reason why they so soft. Because they are being enabled. They've been enabled by their parents. I've seen a man whose mom sheltered him. Okay, baby. Okay, baby. His brother is 50 years old. What are you talking about? That's the problem. Get these kids, get these men off your titties. Women, mothers.
I like to comment behind that. Now, I'm a firm believer that men, and speaking of our culture, need to step up to the plate. And I kind of hate to make that statement because I got several examples of men, younger men in within my family and people that I know, probably 10 right offhand, that are very good examples of fathers. About 4 of them have full custody of their young kids right now. But I believe every young man, every child, not just a male child, needs a father in their life, male or female. But I have to say, from my vision and growing up, and I'm in my early 60s, I've seen some strong black women, some black women that has raised some men on their own. Now, part of being a man versus just a male, a man have to stand for something. He got to have some principles, some morals, and some integrity, and have a backbone. And we've seen how it has affected our community. Chicago being a prime example. We got all of this representation of black people representing us, and those are males. Because at some point, I don't care what the situation is, a man is gonna stand up. He might give you the pass the first time, and especially if you got something up over him or some authority or a job or whatever. He might let you get away with it once or twice, but he gonna put his foot down as a man and stand firm for what he believes in, his family or his situation. We see across the board, from our aldermen all the way up to Congress and the Senate, we got these so smart as Negroes representing us, and most of them are males, but they not men because they wouldn't let nobody do the things that's being done to their people.
Okay.
That's all I got. I'm an alpha female. I'm an alpha female. You got to come hard in the paint. Honestly, you got to come hard in the paint. You cannot be soft.
Let me ask you a question, Ms. Dolores, and I got a new caller, but I'm gonna make it brief, please. What is an alpha female?
I take charge. I take control. I don't wait for nobody to do anything. If I ask you to do something and you haven't done it in a timely fashion that I ask, I'm gonna do it myself. I'm strong-minded. I don't let nobody control me. Yes, I can be submissive, but you got to show me. You got to show me something to be submissive to.
So, in other words, you got conditions in order to be submissive.
Of course.
I'm just saying.
I can't be submissive to some soft ass boy. Come on, I can't be submissive to somebody that I could tell to jump and he say how high. I need you to say I'm not gonna jump. What am I jumping to? You got to take control. That's what I said. The
That's
man
a
is the head,
man.
the woman is the neck. That's a man.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's hear. I got another man, 901. Let's see what he got to say about this. It's gonna be interesting. 901, come on, bro.
Community meeting. Look here, let me tell you something, Mr. Doris. Ain't no such thing as no alpha females. Just cut that out. Ain't no such thing as no alpha female. That's a myth. You hush all that talking up, all that old talking up. No, I think how y'all doing this. Man, look, I think I can agree with you on that. I think what it is the roles are kind of switched a lot of bit, and I think it has
Tell
a lot
the
to do
truth
with the economy.
and shame the
I think it has
devil.
to do with the economy as well, because it takes two to make it when you put these things together. And the women period, not only the sisters but women period, they have to work harder. They have to do all these things. And there's a report out there stating that women, they are going to bed lonely on them pills. They having heart attacks, drinking wine and things like that. I think the natural order of things have kind of gotten out of whack. But the thing about it is,
telling the truth.
It's the truth. I gotta tell the truth on it. But one thing you gotta understand, a man, he don't, we like soft. We like soft. And all the brothers man said, I can't have no woman that don't need no man. And
I like
every time. Well, here's the thing. Every time, I come in, I suggest something. I said, "Darling, let's not do this. Let's not do that." There don't need to be no back and forth when it comes down to it. You see what I'm saying? There's places for everything. And during this time right now, we really need each other. We need to cut all this stuff out, in my estimation. Go ahead. I'll let her play.
Go ahead.
The problem is, if I can interject something, we have to remember, we've had 35 plus years of rap music referring to Black women as bitches and hoes. We had the early part of the 2000s, and don't get me wrong, I was born in the hip hop era. I'm probably going to be 80 years old listening to Jay-Z. It's just going to always be in my blood. But with that being said, we have to recognize something. And where I'm trying to go with this is, we have 35 plus years of rap music calling Black women bitches and hoes. We have the early part of the 2000s of the rap culture where they pushed heavily popping pills as well as having threesomes and promoting side chicks. So now what we're witnessing here right now with this present moment, what I've noticed is you're starting to see a lot of Black men complain about the type of women that, they don't like or they don't want. They bash the hell out of baby mamas, this, that, and the other. And I always ask this question to some of the brothers when we're having this conversation. What the hell did you all think exactly was going to happen? You put us on this platform to bash us for the whole world to see. And you expect to have perfect and submissive women. That's not going to happen. And then you're always comparing us to white women. Martin, what's that man's name? Sarge? Isn't he married to a white woman?
No.
I remember hearing
Sarge married to the army.
I remember him saying something very derogatory on your show a couple of months back. I think this was back in September, I want to say, and you stopped him. But he was starting to go on a tangent about Black women because I think his first wife was Black or something like that. Maybe I'm misunderstanding, but my point is, you can't expect of your women to be submissive and supportive when you sit up here. And I always also talk about what they talk about. Black women chose welfare over Black men and this thing, that, and the other. And you see some of these old recordings of them talking to Black women who were on welfare or whatever, raising children by themselves. The women that you always notice that they never talk to, but we all have heard the stories. is about the men that left women. Who left them? And I'm not talking about the women who were on welfare. These women eventually had to get on welfare to help support their children because these men left the house. And I've heard plenty of stories like that, but they never talk to those women.
Let me ask you a
see what I'm
question.
saying?
Hold on. Is
Go
that
ahead.
true that the women trade the men in for benefits from the government? Is that true? That's what I need to know.
The man is on welfare as well. So how can we
I
trade
know.
something
I'm
in?
just
They get
asking.
food more
Listen,
than us.
y'all don't beat me up.
I don't believe.
I'm asking the question.
Yes.
I don't believe that it is because there's an activist. This woman is in her 80s now. Her name is Ruby Duncan,
Mhm.
and that was one of the things that she fought for. They don't never, but see, we don't talk about this. So now this new phase of what's going on now is this red pill community, and how you see these black men get on these podcasts and they drag the hell out of black women. So now, as I said earlier, their biggest words that they're using now, the biggest word that they've used as weaponization towards black women is accountability. So everything gets dumped on us, while the behavior of some of these black men that we see, it gets excused, ignored, and overlooked. And so with all of these combinations of things, and we're sitting up here watching and look at this, how is it that, our men expect us to be submissive and soft when you're sitting up here? We're in 40 plus years now of being dragged and humiliated on a world stage, and yet you all want us to be soft and submissive. But oftentimes we have to be in struggle love relationships. All of these things, how do you expect women to be when we're sitting here?
Let a man answer. Let me hear some. Let me hear some of man. Let a man answer this.
Okay. It's amazing. It's amazing that you picked that time period. You said over the past 20 or 30 years, but you didn't go back to the Oprah ages. You didn't go back to the ages where y'all was on Donahue and all the rest of those things, bashing black men for over 40 to 50 years. You didn't go. You chose this one right here. The thing about it is, during this era, this is the only platform that men actually have to express themselves. And I don't think you all like it. Well, it is true. If you actually think about it.
It's the only platform.
Am I
No, he's talking about social media, not this platform per se.
Social media.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
I know what he's talking about.
Hold on.
Let him
Hold
talk.
on 1 second.
Let the man talk.
So I can understand exactly what you're saying, and I think it's really appalling that men actually do that. But I will submit to you that it's early. Men are, voices are starting to be heard and all the rest of that stuff. And I think it's by the time I think it is played out. But the truth about the matter is, women have to take responsibility for some of the things that they actually done. If you do look at that research, it is true that the male had to leave the household. And I understand she had children and all the rest of that. And I remember when I was in college and I was talking to my aunt and see the affirmative action, what it did. Also, it was a second of that. That broke up the family as well. And she suggested that since the female black is getting favor from the corporate America, then what she should do is take that money, invest in her man, and he get a trade. And we can get them both ways. So we should have worked together instead of separate. So the truth about the matter, if you look at it, in history, when it comes down to war, whenever you take a civilization, what you do, you kill the men and the boys, and you take the women and the girls. And it's the same thing if you actually thinking about it. That's how you destroy a community. Because women are the keepers of culture. The truth about the matter. So I think what it is, I think it's actually a trick bag, honestly. And I think we both have fallen for it. But you'll see a lot of men today, 60% of men from 1835 live in the middle class. I'm not sure about these men y'all talking about women taking care of men. That's the thing in the 80s. That phenomenon has not happened in decades. And another, I don't know any man that actually, I can't, that's those talking points are actually old. And it also came out that Pew did a research, did this study. I'm gonna be quiet after this. That stated Black men are the most involved in their children's life.
Oh, sorry.
No, Pew Research. Look it up. I'm done.
Okay. All right.
I like to piggyback on what he just said and what the female that was speaking before him. Number one,
I'm a
women-
woman, sweetie. Thank you.
women have to take accountability for their choices, especially in this day and time. I'm talking about in the last 20 or I'll go from the point where the young lady was talking about rap culture and the verbiage and what's being promoted in youth. I agree. The bitches and hoes, all that, all wrapped up. But you have to take accountability for choosing that type of guy in your life. Most women, hold on, listen to me. Y'all talk, girl. Hold on. Most women, by the time she's 30, she overlooked the guy that was really for her in her life. She has overlooked him. But I'm gonna go all the way back to the late 60s, mid 60s on up. What I've seen, as far as the men being put out of the house for welfare, a lot of males took that situation and ran with it because they could go live in a YMCA, get them a one bedroom, and they could go and be with they wife and kids over here for a couple of days and go over here and be with they woman. Now that happened in my father's era. My grandfather, my parents, fathers, they wasn't going. It wasn't no welfare, and whatever kids you had, whether you had a set right with you and another set 4 blocks away. Those were men. They stood on business. They didn't have no handout, and they did what they had to do. But I could see a change in the culture. The young lady said what the representation of a black woman has been with the rap. I'm gonna go before rap, back to the black exploitation era in movies. And this is when I was 10 years old and coming up. I seen pimps and hoes and men or males that wanted to come up off a woman for the most part.
Okay.
A lot. That's who all of the most of the young men wanted to be like. They wanted to be like the pimp or the drug. Later on, it was a few drug dealers in the neighborhood. Everybody wasn't no drug dealer, and him because they had to shine.
All right, Bill.
So it was promoted through the movies and so on. But the problem is,
I just want to
what
say
we gonna
something
do
really
about
I
it?
am believe finish. He
What
almost
we gonna
finished.
do
Wrap it up,
about it
Bill.
now?
Yeah. Now listen, before Dolores come, 872-299-0808. I need more callers. Come on in, people. It's a lot that I want to say, but I'm gonna submit my thoughts. Go ahead, Dolores. Go ahead.
So he said that we have to take accountability for who we deal with, right? Men nowadays are like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. Understand me?
Come on.
You don't know somebody until you actually live with them. You understand me? You could be dating this person forever. They could be at their house, you at your house, but you ain't gonna know this person until you actually live with them and get involved with them. And then guess what? All the tricks come out the bag. So I don't want to hear nobody talk about accountability. You need to know who you dating. You can be knowing somebody since you was 15 years old, and you still don't know that person. You didn't know that they was a pedophile because they never was registered. You didn't know that they was a murderer because they never was caught. Come on, let's talk real now. Because I'm tired of men talking about accountability. of who you
And-
date. You need to know who you date.
And it's interesting because if you all remember what I said earlier, I said men often use that word accountability as a weapon against women. But what's unfair about this whole thing is, as I stated before, both men and women need to take accountability for the choices that they make in this life, good or bad. But what's messed up and what is often overlooked is you have these men going around and creating destruction. You're leaving a trail of broken women behind, and somehow the community overlooks that. I say it once and I say it a million times. Black single mothers get shamed the hell out of by the Black community, while the Black community also turns around and excuse the behavior of Black men. They
That's
excuse
not
it.
true. That's not
Yes, it is.
Let me say something really
Very
quickly.
true.
Can I say something really quickly, Mark?
Black
Go
men, black men
Hold-
have
hold it,
never-
brother.
black-
Let the
black
sister-
men have-
Brother, now I don't want. I'll let you go, but let's see what the
let me
sister got to
say
say.
something.
Go ahead, sister.
Love my Black man. If people ask me why you still love your Black man, I'm gonna say this real quick about my life. I've been raped by a Black man. I've been shot 5 times by a Black man. I've been beat by a Black man. A Black man touched my child, and I still love my Black man. I can't understand why. So I don't want to hear about no. So did I cause that? Did I cause all this hurt and pain for my Black brothers, who I thought was to protect us, to hurt me this bad?
Come on.
Is that on me? My accountability. I asked for all of it.
Yep. To a certain degree, sister, you got to realize is
Oh, wow.
Wait a minute.
it's hold on. I hate hold on. Well, hold on. I hate to come down hard on you, and I really hate that all
can't come
any.
down hard
Hold
on
on.
you.
Hold on. Just listen. See, that's how much of an alpha male.
I caused this to happen.
But you didn't let me finish my statement.
Okay, go ahead.
My statement is I hate from the bottom of my heart that would happen to you and to any Black woman. But the thing of it is, a man might say you have accountability because you have a bigger responsibility than the average man because you do carry the seed. You have the seed with you the majority of the time. Now, hold on. Women do have their kids in most cases more than the average man. Now, that's one thing. You have a responsibility not only for yourself, but for these kids. I mean, and to be a good representation.
Because I'm a little lost. Are you talking about what my child be touched?
No, I'm not talking about, I'm talking about all of the situations, period. There's some things that we don't have control of. I'm sure nobody, especially you, would want nobody touching their kid. I don't. If I knew of somebody touching a kid, I ain't gonna say what I possibly would do. But if a woman gets, I'm gonna give you a prime example. If a woman gets stuck on a certain idealism about a man, I want a light skinned man. I want a thug. I want this, and that's what she usually gravitates when what's right for you has been all around you the whole time. But for hold on, let me finish. It's for 15. No, you taking it personal, and I'm not talking about your situation.
Like I was dating a thug or something. The reason why this happened to me.
No. See, you taking it personal for your situation, and I'm not speaking on your situation. If you heard me in the beginning, I said you're being too much of an alpha male, female, because I'm speaking and telling you what the situation is, or my opinion on a situation, and you're not trying to hear it and making it personal. I'm making it general.
It's not making sense.
For our community. And you done cut me off when people didn't let you have the flow and talk. Because you taking it personal, you getting emotional and taking it personal instead of allowing me to finish, and maybe somebody else will pick this game up and enter this game.
We all been grown on this call, so I can.
Okay, hold on. And I'm steady have to rebuttal to get back to my point because I'm being cut off.
Point. There's a point.
It might not be a point to you, but it could be a point to somebody else because you have taken it personal about your situation that I hate that happened to you. But women take
that, baby. I'm 47.
And I'm 63. An old 63, an old soul. So what I'm saying is,
be quiet and let you get to your point. I apologize.
See the kind of female you are. All you had to do was just be quiet, and you had to have the last word.
Some of y'all men don't know when to shut up. That's the problem.
Wow.
Maybe because I'm being interrupted at every angle because you disagree with what I'm saying. I might disagree with something. Look at you. Wow. I can't believe this. Anyway, I'm gonna finish my statement.
Y'all,
I'm gonna finish my statement.
Listen.
Even though I've been interrupted 10 times. And getting back to what I was saying, as far as accountability, women get caught into a certain type, a certain whatever, and they'll spend 10 or 15 years accepting and looking for that when what was for them, that was good for them, that might have been sent by God to them, they ignore it. That's the accountability part. And you do have a responsibility as a woman, not just for your seed, but to be a good example to your little sister, your daughter, your neighbor. You know, if she's seeing you choose these certain type of men and going through the same thing, she's gonna do the same thing also. That's all I got to say.
Said that earlier, though.
Okay. There's two things that I want to say, and then I'm gonna let somebody else have the floor. The thing is that you all choose wrong too, but that's often not talked about. Many of you also hold grudges from that 7th grade girl who hurt your heart, and you carry that through life. But that's excused because, you know, you're men. The thing about it is oftentimes, and we see a lot of this now on social media, you see these men I see these men constantly post bashing women, everything, when in fact, this is coming from a place where he studied choosing this. Now, you all got your types too, because back in the day, I remember to have a light-skinned woman was a black man's glory before they transitioned over to having a. So you all have those same preferences. You all hurt and dog out good women, or I'm going to say many of you, not all, but a lot of good women have been dogged out and hurt as well. And then when they do meet a woman that they settle down with, that woman that they settle down with is often their karma. So choosing wrong is not just a black woman's issue. That's the black, or I'm not going to even say that. That's no matter nobody's color. Choosing wrong is everybody's issue. But I think what you're overlooking is that choosing wrong and the accountability word is dumped solely on the shoulders of black women. That's the issue. That word has been used as a weapon against us. While the behavior and actions in terms of how some of our men interact with our women in the community, all of these women in different communities are saying the same thing, and that's being overlooked. There's something wrong with that. You can't leave a trail full of heartbroken women in different communities and then somehow, you know, now what I will say is where the mistake where some of our black women make is they allow those experiences to turn them cold and make them bitter. Now that's the problem, you know. So I'm not saying that we as black women don't have work to do. I just think that those types of issues shouldn't be placed solely on our shoulders. And I think that's what it's become. In my opinion, that's the way it's become. Everything has become our fault. If it's something going on in the community, to, circumstances in terms of pregnancy, circumstances in terms of relationships, just everything. When you hear a lot of these Black men speak, it seems like when they say something about us and what's wrong, everything is solely the fault of Black women, while their behavior and how they've handled things in the past, I'm talking about some Black men, their behavior and everything is totally excused. And that's not right.
Well,
That's not right.
well, here's the thing. If you actually look at it, the average male today, when you talk about men, is really not participating in the dating market. The truth about the matter is 20% of the men that you all are talking about are the ones who are having 2 or 3 or more children. So 80 to 70% of your men is not involved. What you all are doing, you're generalizing the minority and making that the majority. The majority of the men today don't act the way that you're actually talking about, that you're speaking of. That's not the case. It's 20% of the men that's actually having 3 or more children. It's like the gentleman was saying, and if you look at it from this standpoint, from the lawyer all the way down to the workers at Wendy's, y'all want the same man. Y'all compete for the same man. You have 8 out of 10 women, and that's women of all y'all chase the same man. 6 foot, over 100,000. That's very true. The thug, the rough rider. You don't want the guy that's actually good for you.
Let me say,
but God said when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. So how are we chasing them?
Say what?
God said when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. So we're not going to find no man. I know. I think that's the role, right?
Well, that's what God said. Hold on. That's what God said. But are women acting what God actually said? He actually says
we're
that
not saying
it's God.
though.
Hold on. He said is God, is man, and then is woman. The problem about the matter is, we've out of place. We out of place. That's the thing. We out of place. Can't no 2 things run no household. Can't no 2 things. Anything with 2 heads is retarded. Can't no 2 things run no household. And I ain't the type of man and everything like that. Well, I'm just gonna bow down and allow you to do whatever it is you want to do. And this new word that y'all using now, partner. Listen to what I'm saying. This word y'all using, partner. Ain't no real man talking about he's somebody's partner. I ain't nobody's partner. If I marry you, I'm your husband.
So you don't think that you all a team?
No. Understand what I'm saying. Let me say this again. If I marry you, I'm not your partner. I'm your husband. That's who I am.
Exactly.
And so y'all don't like that type man. So y'all don't like that type man. I ain't your partner.
You know what the issue is? The issue is that
I'm your husband.
when you say y'all, you speaking on all women. You can say some. You gotta make sure you say the correct.
Come on now. We're not being that simple now. Come on now. I thought we was having an intellectual conversation.
The other thing that I need to make you all aware of.
You cut me off. I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you were through speaking. I'm sorry.
So that's what I'm saying. To think about it, understand this right here. Let me explain this to you. And I'm going to tell you y'all secret weapon. Y'all secret weapon when it comes down to a man is your softness. That smile, those curves, the way
Tell
you
the
smell,
truth
the way
and
you
shame
cook.
the devil.
And guess what? If you get anything you want from me, and just give me the big piece of chicken. And you can have whatever you want. We are actually simple. And I'm done.
And
Yes.
And to hear from another man, along with all of what he said, the softness, and a woman, she still can't understand this day how a certain woman got a certain man. He might be out in the street, throwing down on BBLs and everything, but his woman at home don't fit that description. But at home, he get peace, he get some understanding, all of that. And what I'm trying to get to is the fact that you're really in control. If you never open your leg to a situation or grow off the situation, that when you have opened your leg and made a bad decision, own up to it. Men make bad decisions, like the young lady was saying. I agree with probably 85% of what y'all saying. I agree totally, but the resistance come in is the accountability. Well, a man is accountable for his actions. Also, it's spoken on with y'all more so because you have control. If what we hunting, we get, you conquered. You're conquered. But if you take accountability as a woman, you have control. You sitting on a gold mine. That's the first start. But you got to have more than your body to offer to a man to get his full, for you to be the one. For you to be the one that he will submit to marrying, submit to compromising. Because I know this for a fact. I've been around. I had a lot of women, but I got a wife now, and I'm totally different with my wife. Totally different. I compromise.
Truthful thing you said all night.
I will compromise because she's meeting those needs that he said. It ain't just about how she look. It's the understanding. It's the peace. All of that adds up, and I think our women, I love y'all to death. I love y'all to death, but y'all could take some input from a man instead of downplaying what I'm saying, what this man just said. That I think that's where the friction come in at. Listen to what we saying. If your man tell you, I don't think you should wear that, baby. I'm grown. I work. I do this. I can wear what I want to. But you got a man here that's doing what I assume what he's supposed to do. If he's doing what he's supposed to do, you should supposed to take a step back, even though the sole decision is yours.
Yes.
But take a look at it. That's all.
Okay.
Just take a look at it.
I need to say something. I've been quiet, Jack. Y'all, can I say something real quick? I just want to say something. I mean, I've heard a lot of crap. Now, this is what I don't want us to do on here. And I know that this is what I'm saying. I'm not pointing nobody out. If a man is telling the truth, it's the truth. It's not bashing. If a woman is telling the truth about a situation, it's not bashing. Let's get that. We let our feelings get in the way of the truth. The truth is the truth, regardless. Whether we agree with it, don't like it, it's the truth. And that's where a lot of stuff comes from. When you tell a truth about a certain situation, they either call you being negative or you bashing. The truth is the truth. The truth don't need nothing added onto it. I always say that butt naked truth will undress the dressed up lie. And let's focus on the truth, people. Some things are really true that both sides are saying. So a lot of us have had some great relationships. Some of us had some bad relationships, and we need to learn from them. So when we get into another relationship, and we need to heal from them as well, because the brother Ronnie said on here, he said, now this is what he said. He said, now when women do great and everything, they take all the credit. But when they fail at some things, now they want to point the blame. So I see a lot of women, give you an example. Oh, my son is in college. My son is doing great. But that same son that was in college, when he go out there and shoot and kill somebody or rob somebody, now you don't accept that, but you accept the good. So we have to accept the good and the bad. The men is not perfect on a lot of things they do, and the women not perfect either. So we're dealing with truth, people, and this is an open community. Let's be honest. most of the divorce, according to numbers, statistics, that women are the ones that's filing for divorce, not the men. Now, who's to say that the women are wrong? But I'm just saying, according to the numbers, women are the number one, black women, when it comes to black men, they file divorce most of the time. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to beat up on nobody, but we got to go with the numbers and tell the truth and shame the devil. Some of us, we went out here, we've had
I wonder
relationships.
why.
Yeah, well, let me just say, some of us, we had these relationships. I saw you, you saw me. We was high. We went home. We didn't get a chance to know each other, and the baby was born. You know, we didn't even know most. I could ask some women that's in relationships now, especially them fresh relationships, about a year, 6 months. They probably never seen each other's ID, state ID, or driver license. But we've taken, you having confidence that this person name is what they say their name is, and that may not be the case. Sometimes, like the sister said, we don't know a person until we live with them. We really don't. And you have to do your own investigation. You have to do your own investigation with these people. You know, sometimes you got to do a background check. How was he raised? Do he have any children? How do he treat his children? You know, do he have any friends? What his friends are saying about? I mean, you got to do your own vetting process. You just can't be overtaken because a woman got a big booty, big titties, she pretty, she outgoing, or same way with a man. If he handsome and all that, smell good and whole, you do things for you. Sometimes you have to still do your investigation, black man and black woman. That's all. A lot of us up at 12 o'clock at nighttime, and probably most of us single or looking for somebody. It's almost 1 o'clock. But it is what it is. That's my statement. That's my statement. Go ahead, people. I just had to throw that in there. Go ahead.
And there's a lot of truth to what you're saying, to what you actually saying, and to be honest with you, like I said, sister, y'all superpower. Be honest with you, y'all superpower. And just to let you know, black men, we love black women. To be honest with you, totally honest with you, we love black women for real. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. All that stuff you hear and all the rest of that stuff, I understand what you're saying. You hear on these social media apps and all the rest of that stuff, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. We adore y'all. Adore. Simply adore. And that's just the truth about the matter is. And the thing about it is, you know, those BBLs and all the rest of that stuff, we like natural hair. You know, we like those natural things. But the thing about it is, I understand what you're saying, but sometimes we basically tell y'all exactly what it is that we want and what we're looking for. And it seems like we feel like that y'all ignore that. Y'all don't pay attention to what it is that men want or what a man is actually looking for. And the thing about it is, we actually, be honest with you, we actually telling you what it is that we're looking for, what we want. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And the truth about the matter is, when it comes down to it, we know that we want to on the second date. We know what it is that we want. And I'll land there.
Some of y'all don't know what you want.
So I'm.
Hold on. You see, I just told her. Didn't I just say we know what we want?
I just said some of y'all do not know. Some men do know what they want. Some men do. I sure did.
Okay, I'll leave it there.
I'm confused.
Leave it there.
Did this turn into? Can I get clarification on something? Did this turn into giving us advice on how to date, or were we just talking about
it could be.
general?
Come on, preach now.
Listen, it could be because
what it is.
It could be.
What it is we just giving you. You asked the question. You asked the question. Did you ask the question? You asked the question. What it is what I'm saying is that it's just a great divide, and the divide is not that wide that it cannot be fixed. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, and I'll just go ahead and say it, we love black women. We love you.
Everybody is not you, sir.
Well, listen to what I'm saying. Okay, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. I was just see, this what men do. That's what men. That's why we pull back.
Okay, let me say
I'm a
this.
little
Let me
lost.
say this,
Y'all go
ladies.
ahead. Go
Ladies, let me just say this real quick. First of all, let me just say, you cannot take what men like in the women away, how they think and how they view things. It's not just all about the woman. You know, it's not all about what you want or what makes you feel happy, because there's a thing that's called, listen, it's a mutual thing. It's a mutual. If a man tell you he likes a certain thing, that's what he like. You can't get mad at him. Well, I ain't that. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
Men tell you what they like. I had a show one time. I think Bill, I think you heard it. And I asked all the men, I said, what is it that you don't like about women? And I told all the women, no comment, just listen. And they were just saying a lot of things. And I wanted them to listen, to understand. I didn't need the women to respond. Just tell me all the things that you don't like about women. You know, and I'm talking, preferably, I was talking to straight men, heterosexual men. Then I turned around and had the women asking the same thing. I asked the women, I said, hold on. I said, tell me, hold on, bro. I told the women, tell me what you don't like about men. And I gave them a chance to speak and all that. And it just, I told the men to listen. Sometimes women, all you have to do is listen. If a man would tell you what he wants, that's all you have to. The brother said it soft spoken, you know. Katie, the brother said it. Listen, you still could, if you want to be an alpha woman, you still could be in control and how you think him in control. I tell you the truth. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I am not saying that like I'm an alpha female where I just want to be in control and take. I don't want to be a man. I'm soft. I am very soft. Okay. I want to be feminine in a relationship. So don't get it twisted. All right. When I say I'm an alpha female, that means I take care of business. Taking care of business as far as when it comes to my husband, my man, my children, my family. That's what I mean by that. I'm not running around here. I want to be the man. I'm the hard leg. No. I want to be in my feminine stage.
Well, I asked you, remember what, but you didn't say that when I asked you. I asked you, what is an alpha woman? You see, you didn't say that.
I take control. I take control of my family. I take care of my family. I do everything I have to do as a woman. I cook, I clean, I do everything.
But that's, I mean,
because I'm a woman.
That's what a woman's supposed to do. I mean, just listen, you want me to pat you on the back because that's what a woman duty is? That's what a woman's supposed to do anyway.
I don't need you to pat me on the back.
No, but you don't need no patting on the back. That's your duty to do that. That's all I'm saying. You don't need no pat on the back. That's your duty as a woman to do that. A man's duty is to be a man, to provide and protect.
Right. My mother took care of my father, yes. My mother took care of my father.
I want to interject and remind you, Martin, when you did that series, it turned out to be a series. Mm-hmm. You started out with a situation like right now, and you had to go back and ask and not allow the women to call in and let the men talk, and then the next series or show you had, you shut the men down and let the women talk. That's how bad it had got, because it was far worse than what's going on right now. The very first show. That's why you had to decide to separate the show, because it was so much resistance, because you allowed the men to go to have, well, the first show was open conversation, and it was just chatty and back and forth. What we did to the 10th degree, and you had to shut it down and let each one go separately, if you could remember.
I thought this was going really well.
I think it's going real well. I think it's going real well.
Actually, it is. I think it's y'all receiving some of the things we're actually saying, but I can hear it in one of y'all's voice. I can hear one of y'all voice. I know that y'all. Yeah, I know y'all disappointed in everything, but the thing about it is there's a basics to every relationship. It's a give and take when it comes down to it. And regardless of the fact there are roles to be played. And honest with you, man, we don't want no hard woman, to be honest with you. That's a complete and total turn off total turn off.
Husband built to be hard.
Because the thing about it, we're not designed that way. We're not actually. It's kind of like going against nature when it comes down to it. Now I'm just gonna be real with you, be honest with you. Some of those things, I mean, you all make it feel like it when you say, I'm an independent woman, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Basically, what we hear is that you don't need no man.
Tell the truth
That's what we
and
hear.
shame the
No,
devil.
that's what.
Man.
That's what.
I don't need a man. I want one. I don't need a man.
Well, see, here's the thing.
God created us to be with one. I want one.
Listen. See, men, we don't want no woman that don't need no man. That's a difference. See, if you want something, you can throw that thing away. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. I need a sister. I need a woman. I need her to be black.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
You see the difference? You see the difference? You say you want one. I say I need you, a black woman.
Make me need you. Make me need you. I want you, and then make me need you.
I need
make you want me to make me need you. So in other words, I got to audition for your love.
You got to show
me
your man.
Do? And what are you gonna do? What is your part?
My part is I'm a multiplier, right? That's what us women do. Men bring it, we multiply it. We are a mirror of a man. I'm a mirror of you. So whatever you come with, I'm going to mirror.
You're not. No, see, that's the problem. No. You're not a mirror. No, you're not a mirror of a man. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you are not.
I'm a multiplier. Yes, we multiply.
No, you're not a.
That's why that one little egg we give you children, right? That one little meal we feed the whole family with it, right?
But you're not a mirror of a man. You're not. In no way, shape, form, fashion, in any biology, whatever. You are nowhere near. The truth about the matter is, we built this thing. We're the ones who created and built these things. We're the ones that keep our society functioning. Now, you've told yourself you don't need no man. Man,
who keeping it functioning?
Can I say something?
Man, if men dropped out of society today, how long would women survive?
We surviving without y'all ass now.
No. I'm saying without men within the society. No. Y'all got the most bankruptcies that's coming up, the most homelessness is coming up, the most in debt that's coming up, the most is unmarried that's coming up, a high that y'all going to jail at a rate that's damn near high. Hold on. Damn near higher than men. Women are shooting men. Women are the ones who won't talking about they the side piece and all the rest of that stuff. This is something that I've never seen before, that women actually bragging about being a side piece of a man. Bragging. And the truth about the matter is, some of us brothers ain't touching some of them sisters that's out there like that. We got more respect for ourselves than some of the women do. And
can I interject something here?
Hold on 1 second. And then another thing, with the image that's being displayed and betrayed and everything, with all these Suki Hanas and all the rest of that stuff, they got y'all looking messy out there. Looking messy as hell. Messy as hell. With them booty shorts on and all the rest of those stuff. And then putting gorilla and all the rest of that. That's not a representation of a black woman. We don't consider that's not a representation of you. That's not who you are.
You said earlier it was a difference between men and male. Okay. Go ahead, sister. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
First of all,
and all the rest of that mess. Please.
Let the sister talk.
Well, let's be honest. We have Sexy Red and we have Glorilla and we have Meg Thee Stallion because the culture provided for them to exist. And let me say something else to you. The Suki Hanas and all of them, hoes exist because men entertain them. Let's be clear on that. You all entertain them. Okay.
We don't go to their concerts. We don't buy their music. We don't buy their music.
Hold on. But
men don't buy their music. We don't go to their concerts.
The thing is, the problem is this is morphed into something that it's all about you all's need, what you feel you need, and this, that, and the other. That's perfectly fine. I can't tell you as a woman, I can't tell you how to feel as a man, and I'm not disputing what's part of what you said. But, Me personally, I wasn't asking for dating advice because I'm not looking. I am content on where I'm
we
at
talking
at
in
this
generalities. We talk.
in my life right now. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that you all were so busy talking about what men want and what their needs are, but you all totally and blatantly ignore the needs and the want of a woman. So
never expressed it. You never expressed
That's
it.
not true.
ultimately,
You never
this
expressed it.
conversation became all about me. And
What
this
man
is
needs?
something
You just
that was
said you're
supposed-
not looking for a man. Ain't nobody
but
that did
here's
that.
the thing, though.
So it don't apply to
You
you.
all went off on
This show looking for no man.
the thing, and what's wrong with not looking for a man right now? It's okay to be selfish with your time at this moment if you have personal things that you're trying to accomplish. But it's foul to single shame a woman.
I can see why the
That's-
accountability word. I see why the
wrong.
accountability word is kind of like kryptonite because you running so fast. And
I
so quick,
said
you
when a
stuff.
man find a wife, he find a good thing. That's why she ain't looking.
Hey,
But
I want to comment.
me right now. There's nothing wrong with being that. So, and who are you to tell me? You know what I'm saying? That I shouldn't be single, or all these other things.
I
You-
never
that
said
doesn't-
that.
just because
I
you're a
never
man,
said that.
that don't give you a right to single.
Ma'am, did I say that? I didn't say. I didn't say
you
anything
say
about
it,
that.
It was implied, sir.
No,
But,
no, men. No. When
to
men
ask
speak,
you-
we speak. No. When men speak, see, that's the problem. When men speak, we speak. We don't do all that catty stuff. Or they got something to say to you. But I'm gonna say it to you. That's what I'm gonna say.
But how am I being catty, sir? I'm responding to something that you said. But
Implied. I don't know. I'm sorry, my sister. I don't imply anything. I say what I mean. I mean what I say.
that's how it sounded to me. But the thing is, you all talking about the culture, Sexy Red and Megan Thee Stallion. The culture was provided for them to exist. Okay, they exist for a reason. So it's unfair to put them out there when the culture was there for them to begin with. And I do believe the culture was created by who else? See, what you all keep failing to realize is universal law, from my understanding, and this was told to me from another man. Everything starts with you all first. Okay?
You can't lead on nobody that want to be led. If you don't want to be led, you can't lead you if you don't want to be led, man.
You know what? Sometimes when a black woman says that, sometimes all that is declaration. And I remember at one point in time, the culture heavily celebrated independent black women. They pushed that. Then once they felt like it got out of hand, all of a sudden, they too independent for me, this, that, and the other. I mean, which one is it? Do you want an independent woman or do you not?
Can I be honest?
With you all. You all
can I be honest with you?
Video Vixen. You supported the Video Vixen. Now I'm sudden, but I let you speak, sir. I would appreciate it if you let me speak. I didn't interrupt you, not at any time.
Yes, you did.
So the problem is that the very women that many of you denounce now today was women that these were the type of women that you all once celebrated. And I think a lot of what's happened now, these women that you all once celebrated have played a lot of you. So now you all are like, oh no, I can't touch that woman now, this, that, and the other, which is your right. That's your choice. But don't just sit up here and speak like these women represent. Meg Thee Stallion and Glorilla and all of them don't represent me.
But they was at the
Exactly.
They were what was representing.
Okay,
what was representing.
If they represent me, all these gangster rappers and those shorties that was just recording themselves with those guns and stuff, they represent you.
But they never made it. They never made it to a stage of the DNC or the Democratic Party promoting this. It was promoted before, and I agree with. I'm gonna back up and give you kudos for being single or whatever at this point for whatever reasons you came up with. But it's probably a good thing because number one, You don't need to go out and find a man. The good man will find you.
Tell the
Yeah, I
truth
just say that.
and shame
You
the
ain't
devil.
got no business looking for a man. A man is supposed to pursue you, and that's part of the problem. Women are allowing themselves to pursue a man, and they thought in pursuing that man, he get wind that you like him. He gonna take advantage of the situation.
That's an old
he-
school thing. I think that's an old
he's
school.
gonna-
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hey, listen, brother.
He's going.
Hey, brother Bill. Let me just say this.
He's going.
Let me say this, brother Bill. Somebody hung up. I don't know who hung up, but somebody hung up. Listen, Ronnie White said, which is good, Ronnie. There has never been a time since when the black men celebrate an independent woman. And that's so true.
True.
That is so
true.
true. We don't celebrate
true, boy.
a black women being
At
independent at all. Or we
At
don't even
all.
celebrate a
At
strong, independent black woman. We don't, no, we don't do that.
At all.
We don't do that.
It repels us.
We don't do that.
It repels us.
And listen, as a man, when I hear a woman say she's a strong black woman, that means she's saying her man is weak.
I run.
Listen, and
Yep,
my thing
I run.
is,
There's a problem.
it's your duty.
Dealing with big men.
A woman duty is nurture to take care of children. So if we really want to jay down on women, if y'all so independent and strong and all that, why are young black youth, some of y'all youth are out there, not all of them, are shooting and killing and rebelling against the parents. They're rebelling against the single parents. Now, I'm not just taking all the blame on the mother, because the father do have some accountability as well. But the woman, as Bill said, she has the most of the time the primary physical custody of the children. The woman. So she instills her beliefs and her teachings on the children. And whatever the child go out and does is a reflection of the household. I just got to say, you just can't take that straight A student. Then when that straight A student flip around and decide she want to be in the streets, you got to take both parts. It's the blame it's a reflection of the parents. And I know once our children get a certain age, they have their own mindset and all do whatever they want to do. Now, we just can't take that straight A student and brag about it, and we don't take the other ugly part that they do. It's got to be a balance. That's what I used to talk about that on the show all the time. A lot of women, they brag on their children, rightfully so when they're doing great. But then when a child go out there, be on the internet, shooting somebody, they deactivate their page. Now they feeling shame. My father always told us, he said, children can make you laugh and they can make you cry. That's how life is sometimes. You know, they have this moment where their mothers are and their parents are so proud of them. Then they have a moment where the parents are disgusted. And a lot of us as parents, I'm a grandfather, listen, it's some things that my children, even right now, the ones that's grown, that I don't agree with them doing right now. I don't, but I still love them. I still love them. Now, if I had a child that was gay or homosexual or lesbian, to my knowledge, I don't. But if I do, I'm still going to love them, but they cannot practice that craft in my home, in my house. And I always say that I cannot control their appetite, whether if they like a female or male. That's their appetite. That's between them and God and their situations. Now, I'm not going to argue the fact if they're born gay or straight. I'm not going to argue that. But what I'm saying is you can't do it in my house. If you're a man, you're going to be a man. If you're a woman, you're going to be a woman. A girl. None of that stuff going on. Now, when you're out of my house and on your own, I'm still going to love you, but you're going to always, a boy always going to be Martin, and a girl's always going to be Tanika to me. So if you come back dressed as something else, I'm not acknowledging that, period. I'm not, as your parent. So I just had to throw that out there because one thing I learned, I see a lot of mothers pampering that stuff, encouraging that behavior among our children, and we shouldn't do that. Now, we have to love them. I'm not saying put them out or beat them because of their sexuality, but we have to make a stand. You can't practice that craft in this house. That's not going to be tolerated. And that's why society is so confused and all messed up. Don't tell me you got 4, 5 babies and you ain't never been married before. Did nobody want to marry? So you just it's messed up. Listen, men know, the brother said it, 901. We know within a day. He said 2 days. We know within a day when we meet you if you're marriage material, not to us. We know.
Actually, it is one day. You're right.
Yeah, we know. Okay, you know what? She the type that I probably could marry. I would mind marrying. We know that. War will say, you know what? She's just a fun girl. I'm telling you how men think. That's how we think. She's just a fun girl.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna just have a little fun with her. I might look out for her, throw a few dollars, and have a little fun, sit time, but I'm not gonna get serious with her. You know, you have men. That's how I'm just telling women how we think. Now, because we think that way, that don't mean that it's always right. Now, I'm just telling you how men think, and I'm not speaking for all men, but I know some men think that way. We know certain things when we lay eyes on a woman. We know these things. We know if we can take you home to meet mom. We know if we can take you to meet our daughter. We know these things. We know these things. Oh, no, she'll never meet my family. She'll never come to the family reunion. She'll never come to the Thanksgiving dinner. She'll never come to the Christmas dinner. She's not that type of girl. I like her. I love her. I can't bring her around my family. That's how men be thinking. Now, is that right? I'm not going to say it's right, but I understand.
And Martin,
hey, Martin,
one thing too. I'm sorry. One quick thing. Another thing, and I think Martin will agree. Men, we like to visualize some things. We don't like to see everything on display. If I'm making any sense, we like a little mystery. Men, we're very territorial when it comes down to it. This our egos is something about we're very territorial. When I meet you and you got those jogging pants on that y'all wearing today, that's a no off the bat right there. You're advertising too much. That's a straight no. It's good to look at, with somebody else, but my woman, no, you couldn't wear that, no.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with me being insecure, nothing like that. But it's just like, no, that's a no. And a lot of times.
I'm gonna back up.
Go ahead, Bill.
What you said, Martin, and what the brother was saying, and the one young lady, that when he brung up Glorilla and Sexy Red and all these people. Yes, it's part of the culture that's being a negative part that's being promoted, but you have to look at when you it's not men that's going to their concert. It's young black women. It's girls. That's why
we don't go there.
I speak.
We don't go there.
Yeah. That's why. Hold on. Let me finish. That's why I speak on the accountability part. Is a 40-year-old, 45-year-old woman got some, or 30-year-old got some 10 or 15-year-old girls, and she's riding around listening to this and dressing like that. What do you think that little girl is going to want to do? Now, I come up through an era from the beginning of rap to gangster rap and live the lifestyle along with it. My uncles and my daddy wasn't trying to run around, even though they gangbang in the 60s. They wasn't listening to rap with me and talking about going on Who Rides and all of this and going to chase somebody. No, they didn't do it. But it's been in our culture, and now a certain age group is listening to it and promoting it. Even the drill rap. When you 30, 40 years old, and that's what you're listening to, and allowing your kids to listen to, they're gonna think it's all right. There's a responsibility.
Can I interject something, sir?
Yeah.
Let me just say this. I was 11, 12, 13 years old listening to NWA and Too Short and all of them. And my mother, it's hard to say because she had a drug addiction at the time. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because my kids have listened to, my boys actually listen to some of the old school rap. Okay. You have to have conversations with your children when it comes to that. Okay. To understand that this is just art and what's real life. And I can sit here confident in my seat and I can honestly say that my young ladies are young ladies and my young men are young men and gentlemen. They're not out here with their pants halfway hanging off their ass. They're not out here harassing the community. They are productive members of society. So
thank you for them.
You're welcome. But to piggyback off of what you were saying, these women, young ladies exist because the culture, I don't fault drill rappers. I don't fault Sexy Red, Glorilla, and Meg Thee Stallion. This culture was provided for them. If anybody is to blame, it's the people who supported the culture and provided the culture to begin with. I don't think during those times, those young men, and I'm not talking about the KRS-Ones or the Public Enemies. I'm talking about the NWAs and the Eazy-E's and the Ice Cubes and things of that nature. I don't think they recognized at the time that this would morph into something that would be detrimental to their community. All they were trying to do was move their families out the neighborhood. They weren't thinking about years later how that music would heavily have an impact on the culture. But if we want somebody to blame, I'm not going to blame these young artists that's coming up, in the game now. I'm not going to blame them because they want some money. I'm going to blame the people that provided the platform for them to exist in the first place. If we want to play blame.
So no accountability on their behalf, but you're gonna sit up there and blame something that happened way before they was born. That's genuine.
That's real
genuine. You turn right. Hold on. I was speaking. Hold on one second. So no.
You just interrupted me. I meant to say.
You said the platform was provided, but the women had a choice whether or not they participated or not. We had Jill Scott. We have Erykah Badu. We have those women as well.
Women out here that respect them as well. So you can't say that. We have women out there that respect them as well.
Didn't women have a choice whether or not they would participate in that? Didn't they have a choice?
It's not about having choices, sir. It's about the culture within the community. If this is what's deemed acceptable, a lot of people are going to prosper with.
Do a person have a choice? Does a person have a choice?
Our culture is heavily influenced, and it's not so much about choice. It's about what people feel is acceptable.
No. There's a choice, ma'am. There's a choice. There's a choice.
It's acceptable. If you all once supported the video Vixen, what exactly did you all think was going to happen to that? They were going to go away? No.
Ma'am, back in the 1900s. Ma'am, back in the 1900s. Back in the 1900s. Hold on, ma'am. They've used women in advertising since what? The 1800s, the 1900s. That's a weak argument you have there. The thing about it comes down to it is.
Okay, sir, let me tell you something. The rap industry is $1 billion industry. Okay? Our culture is very influential. It's horrible that our community don't get any type of money off of it because it's wrapping off the violence and the perils of the Black community. These corporations are making money off of that. But with that being said, we have a very influential culture. If you got people in Germany knowing who's saying what word for word from a lot of these artists, that's influential. That's actually power. We don't use it right, but that's what it is.
You run it. You run it.
You can't tell me that type of culture doesn't negatively and heavily impact our community. We have baby mamas and things of that nature because the culture promoted that type of activity.
Ma'am, you said they doing it for the money. Just go ahead and say they doing it for the money. Just say they doing it for the money because you said it earlier. If you want to be truthful about it, they're doing it for the money. And one thing about it is one thing I find amazing is that whenever men speak on things like that, you say we bash it and doing all the rest of that. But why can't the sisters police themselves? Why don't y'all police them then? Is that our responsibility?
The thing about it is, you all don't know what. See, this is what I be talking about.
I asked you a question. You can't even answer my question.
You all sit up and make assumptions. You all don't know what type of conversations that we have. This is what you just assume.
Are y'all having?
Can you stop interrupting me for a minute?
Okay.
Excuse me.
Let her talk, Nana. When we got a new caller anyway. Let her talk. We got a new caller holding on, people.
I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna let the new caller speak. But just because I may watch certain things, I have enough wherewithal and common sense to know that what I see on TV is not my life. But you all seem to think that we emulate people from love and hip hop and want to be like these some of these rap artists out here. Every woman is not living their life like that out there. And furthermore, I want to go back to something that was said earlier in the call. You all seem to think that bad men only come in Pookie and Ray Rays. I've seen some of the most professional, educated, financially well-off men come to those courthouses, and their personality and how they are as a human being as it pertains to their families and women are trash. So, it's wrong to sit up here and say that the only horrific fathers are men who are not fathers, or men who are not great at being men themselves, only comes in the brothers that's standing on the corner. I've seen a brother come in the courthouse and fight hard for his children who was from the streets quicker than you see the ones in the business suits who study moving money around because they don't want the mother of their children to have to help take care of their children who they don't even want custody of. So you all have, I think because you all are a couple of generations ahead of me, there's certain things that you all don't see.
That's anecdotal, ma'am.
Okay.
That's not anecdotal.
If I can chime in real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
I can chime in
this
real
is a
quick.
new caller, y'all.
I just wanted to give the sister.
Go ahead, new caller. Go ahead.
I hope everybody's doing good tonight, but I just wanted to chime in because the sister just hit a nerve, and it's something that we all miss, and that's the word culture. And up until '96, we defined our own culture because we owned our own radio stations. We owned our own stuff, but the culture was hijacked by corporate America. And she has a valid point because it's all suggestive psychology. If you see something long enough, you begin to believe it. But the puppeteers of the culture are the owners of said stations and music companies and all this other stuff. And then they put the stripper pole talent like the Cardi B's and the rest of them out there on the front street. And then the sisters and us as the public, we can't figure out who the puppeteers are. We see the puppets, we're focused on the puppets, but we're not locked in on the puppeteers. And those people are the ones that control the culture. So in fairness, in the name of clarity, sister, I just wanted to let you know that you were nailing it every time you used the word culture.
No,
I'm aware. But there's one thing about the culture.
Yes, you are correct.
No, but here's the thing though. But see, that's what I don't like about a lot of times and everything, because in order for us to fix this thing, we've got to put it where it actually belongs. Yeah, culture is one thing. There's many cultures, but there's also comes down to what is called choice. Choice. You choose whether or not you engage in this culture, because if we don't listen to the music or go to the concerts and those things like that, then that will go away. That would actually go away. There's choice in here. And that's the thing, choice. What about the word choice? There's another C word, choice.
Okay, well, that's why they have this thing called advertising, because they
But
throw a
you have a
commercial
choice.
at you. They'll throw a commercial at you, and they'll show the big zoomed in piece of chicken, and you see that chicken enough, you're gonna want to bite it. And that's why they pay for that influence. And you see, we don't understand that they have influenced us without our permission.
So what
And-
we
and-
find it.
Well, the whole world that way. I mean, that's why you have advertising, my brother. It's suggestive psychology. And if they throw it at you enough and enough and enough and enough, that's why the radio stations will play a record over and over and over and over and over again to drill that point home to you, to say that this is a hit record, and it has to be a hit record because I heard it on the radio. And they're playing it over and over and over again. They're drilling this stuff into us. And after a while, things that we wouldn't go for, we go for. And we don't even understand why we've gone for it. Let's use that word, suggestive psychology. Who are the puppeteers? Who controls the culture? And that's where we'll find the solution to these problems. But we shouldn't be arguing with each other about it because we have not been the origins. We have not been the ones to deliver the said culture today. Again, the puppeteers are the ones that are doing it. We just see the folks out front. But we have to go back and reclaim our culture of what Big Mama and them used to be about, what we were like in the 80s, the 70s, and the 60s. What it was like when we had our family units intact. They've been attacking the family, y'all. Come on. Everybody's seen Claudine, James Earl Jones hiding in the closet because they wanted to eliminate that part of our culture. And guess what? They succeeded in doing it.
Well,
So what are we going to do to heat up the hot comb and straighten it out and fix the culture?
well, my brother, I like to speak as far as the culture in the music industry. Starting off with saying in 89, 90, when gangster rap was on the forefront, I never would have thought when those politicians was fighting against it, I thought they were so wrong. And because I was part of that culture, not from just listening, from being part of that culture, and felt like it was somebody telling our story, what we were going through. And it might have bit us in the butt and came back from other generations, but they never thought that rap would be a genre of music on its own and the biggest selling at any point. And these kids are pretty much telling our stories, but without our stories being told back then, from Ice Cube, Ice-T, to whoever, the East Coast rappers telling our stories from the neighborhood, what was going on, we wouldn't really be able to identify how the drugs and guns been dropped in our neighborhood as of today. We see in new of the CIA is coming to the forefront that the CIA flooded the market themselves in back then, but it's just being spoke on now. But had we not had a story to tell, it just would be a neighborhood myth. So
okay, but who makes the thing I want you to understand, who makes those decisions? So think about Soul Train. Soul Train was a show that was owned and ran by black people. All right, it was a Saturday morning show.
Started in Chicago.
It started right here, but it was a show where the buck stopped with Don Cornelius, and during the '90s, Ice Cube, when he had NWA and Mr. Cornelius said, "You ain't coming on Soul Train cussing." And you can look it up yourself. It's all in Google. Back in the day, Ice Cube called Don Cornelius all kind of Uncle Toms. right? But what is Cube doing now? How many Are We There Yet movies has he done? He understood that, hey, look, in order to make more money, you got to clean it up. You just can't get out here cussing to be cussing. You know, you got to tell a story. You know, so that's the whole evolution. If Cube was on the phone right now, I'm pretty sure he would back me up on that. You know, history is stating that. But the point is that we don't have the Don Cornelius control over our culture today. And that's the problem. And instead of us being at each other's throats, we need to huddle up and figure out how can we reclaim our culture. Like Maxine, the politicians said, reclaiming my time. We have to reclaim our culture. And we do that, the healing will start, because then man and woman are working together. That's what they don't want us to do. You know, they want to continue to drive that wedge between us. And I want everybody listening, just think about the puppeteers, the people that you don't see that are controlling the folks that we do see. And what is their objective? Their objective is to get us fighting, arguing, and not having the family, right? Not having that family foundation that we once had when we actually controlled our culture. But that's the thing. Yeah,
I'm kind of disbelief. I'm kind of disbelief that you all are blaming music and saying it's the culture.
They have weaponized what I'm saying, brother. They have weaponized our culture against us. Our culture has been weaponized.
It starts in the home. If the home was together and the father was in the home and the mother was in the home, those things will not be able to infiltrate. It starts in the home. That's where it is. That's where it lies. I mean, I can understand what you're saying here. Those are little small monsters and everything, but the fix has to be in the communication that we have with each other and straighten these homes out. That's what that we start there. I understand exactly what you're saying about that, but you're saying this music is only affecting the black community, but every other race in all over the world listen to our music and
brother, and look here, man. They have weaponized the culture against us.
They sure have.
Yes, they have. But here's the thing: when you don't take ownership of something, then you're inviting Martin to say it. He said it beautifully as well. If you do not take advantage of the situation, like when it comes down to these homes and everything, and these jobs and building businesses and all the rest of those things. Now we're complaining about the migrants and all the rest of those things. But if we would have brought back our neighborhood and had a strong hold on it, then we wouldn't be in the shape we're in right now today. We dropped the ball. We dropped the ball. And
we all saying the same thing. We all saying the same thing. Dropping that ball. We had a lot of help in dropping the ball.
Well, here's the thing. I can get a sister this right here. I can get a sister this right here. Now, I'm going to tell you, I can get on black men too, because I'm going to tell you what we've done now. We should have been buying back the blocks and everything like that, and taking some leadership roles and everything and put our money together and bought back our neighborhoods. The majority of the reason why these women had to go out and do what they did is because we didn't do what we were supposed to do. And I've said it before on here. I don't know whether she heard me or not, but you got to give it up to the sisters because they powerful. They moving. I mean, the sisters run the Democratic Party. They run the Democratic Party. And we got to step it up, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mark, do you remember a while back on your show I said that, and remember you and somebody else and people in the comments got down on me for saying, well, how is it our fault that this happened with the migrant situation? What he just said was exactly what I was talking about. Instead of us buying up the blocks and stuff, we didn't do that. We ran and brought houses in the suburbs and everything and stood in line and brought Jordans and stuff. And now what's going on out there in those suburbs is they raising those people's taxes to the point where it's going to be nearly impossible for some of them to even keep their homes. Meanwhile, white folks from the suburbs are moving back here to the city. That's the phenomenon that they're not talking about yet. But
that's not Dolores.
6 million. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. 6 million. 6 million behind on their mortgage right now. 6 million.
Let me say this, brother.
6 million.
Let me say this real quick. white people are not moving in black communities. They're investing in black communities until it begins to get gentrified. Now they're investing in Roseland, they're investing in Woodlawn, but they're not moving in Woodlawn. They're not moving in these high crime areas, but they're buying property in these areas for little nothing and rehabbing them and renting them out or just selling them. So that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Trust me. You don't listen. Now, I'm being honest with you. Just notice everybody say how terrible, even myself, our communities are, high crime areas are, but the investors are coming. They're buying land. They're building in these high crime areas. They're taking this real estate. That's all I want to say.
We should have bought it. We should have bought it though. That's the thing about it. We should have bought it. We should have bought the block when we had the chance. And like she said, what happened was we went out there to the suburbs instead of what y'all did. A bunch of us, not my family, because I was totally against it. My grandfather told us don't sell none of our houses. Somebody passed away. They actually sold mama house and grandma house for pennies on the dollars, and then moved out there to the suburbs to live around them people who don't want you out there. And then lost the house that was out there. So they sold the house. They sold the generational wealth. We had it. They sold it. They sold it for nothing. Gave it away just to be around them people.
Well, in defense to some of our people that's in the hood, it ain't as easy as most people think. I'm gonna speak in Chicago, in the hood, which most of them are not far from the downtown area, and there's transportation to get you there. The fight is fixed. It's not easy for you to go and get these properties when you got politicians that's got things lined up for these big investors. And I don't mean people that's got the money to buy 1, 2, 3, 4 houses. They got the money to buy the whole neighborhood if they wish, and that's their intent. From not just a rundown house that you see standing there, and they are allowing them to leave it dilapidated for as long as they have. But somebody owned that property already. Somebody owned those 2 vacant lots. They didn't invest it. Yeah, and they by both. And the thing of it is, say for instance, the average black man, they got a little something going, got some good credit, he can't get those properties. He can't get those properties. And it's like that in the suburbs. Because I've tried to get because the game that's being played with the real estate, we just figured it out in the last 15 to 20 years. They've been playing it for forever. The thing of it is, as much property as you can own that's within Section 8 guidelines, that's a check for these investors. If they own 200, 300 properties in the Chicago area, and it might be 2 or 3 different ones, and 200 of them are Section 8, that's some for sure money that you're going to get from the government. So they redline us still from buying in the city to buying in the suburbs. It don't matter. It don't matter how much money you got, unless you didn't invest it on a larger scale as an investor.
You describing Pangea.
Hold it. He just described Pangea. That's it. That's Pangea, brother. Pangea.
They in the suburbs. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying what my brother said. Go ahead.
Hey, Martin, they actually what he's saying is true as well. They're not only doing it in the city, but these corporations, BlackRock, they didn't buying up 2 or 3 blocks in the suburbs. Now they're buying up all these houses. None of them safe. And then they bought the commercial properties. And then Bill Gates bought all the farmland.
Well, we need to do something crazy and build our own city from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I was thinking homestead. Me and Martin was talking about that homestead. Homestead, somehow
Yeah.
homestead.
That's the way to go. I mean, you know, God will pay your light bill with some solar panels. We can grow our own damn food. You know, we can build our own
y'all
houses.
from Chicago. I think for y'all from Chicago, need to take that money and come down south and get some of this land. That's what I think. Cause man, look, that's what I think. Cause
I don't think we have foot in the red state at this moment.
Well, it don't matter, you know, as long as it's our state, you know, and that's the thing that we have to do. Because think about it.
Stop the derision.
But check this out. Every black community, not just in Chicago, but coast to coast, you know, is a hand-me-down from white folks. We have not built really our communities in our inner cities from the ground up. We've always occupied somebody else's stuff. You know, this stuff used to belong to somebody else. We didn't build this. But with the technology out here, Martin, about homesteading, you know, that should get us all excited, because that's something that we can all come together and do together. Build our own little city.
And they got those government, what's they call those government grants for those, not the hood, but what's those called that you can buy them in the rural areas?
I don't know.
There's all sorts of stuff out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and that's the thing. And you see, this is what they don't want us to do, is to have these kind of conversations.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah. And you know, you got
therefore tomorrow they're gonna mess with Martin channel.
Listen,
so we go to YouTube,
yeah,
all right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So don't let that scare you.
Right.
We can't be scared and go forward, y'all.
That's right.
You know, we got to boldly go.
Right.
You know,
well, I want to give us all some hope. We have to stop the division, like somebody said, amongst our men and women first, the division, and the whole thing in a nutshell, man. These people have implemented policies and have shown us what they think of us, and we have not been taught, in most cases, their system. We had to figure it out ourselves through the grace of God, and we will continue to figure them out in how to survive and how to get by through the grace of God.
Yes,
we will succeed.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna let you my last comment because I got to get off. Go ahead.
I don't think that. I think it is 50% that most of us are finally starting to recognize what the system is. But we had people that warned us and told us and tried to help us. And I think we, in our own ignorance, chose not to listen to them until something happened, or sometimes it takes for us to get older to see that, okay, maybe what that person was saying was right. But we were told that some of these things were going to come into fruition. And unfortunately, some of those people we chose not to listen to for whatever reason.
But you know what? Let me just say this. Let me just close it out. Hold it. I want to close it out. I want to say this out of all respect. Some people that we don't like or care for, we have a tendency to block out and don't listen to nothing they have to say, whether it's good or bad. We don't care. We can't be like that as black people. We have to, not all of us like that. We have to get ideas. We have to listen to the oppositions. We have to listen to the oppressor to find out which direction they're trying to go in the next 20, 30 years. My brothers, my friend Glenn, he said it real clear. He's listening now. He said he left. We have to be independent. Anything that we can control, people, that's what we should. There should be a community in the United States where we have our own hospital, our own schools, our own grocery stores, our own bank. Like Dr. Umar Johnson said, you cannot go nowhere in the United States where you can find all that in one community for black people. And we need that, people. We need that on our own. Do you know when we go into these hospitals, we are under the mercy of the oppressor. You know, when we go to these banks for loans, we are under the mercy of the oppressor. When we go into these courthouses, we are under the mercy of the oppressor. And even I'm gonna go a little further, even when we go to our own jobs, and we know who running these jobs, they pay our check, they sign our check, and we are under their mercy, people. So the things that we can do, such as buying land, buying property, getting some farmland, things that we can control and build, we can have our independence. It's not going to happen overnight, but we need that, people. And we don't want to have the attitude we can't make it without massa. Massa. Listen, remember, when master lose control of us, he start feeling bad. He can't look down on us. You know, some people thrive on looking down on people's failures. They thrive on that. They love when people fail, they explode. Because when you're looking at other people's failures, you're not looking at the other person, their failures and all that. We all are human. We all lie. We all steal. We all rob. We all commit adultery, fornication. I'm just saying all races when I say that. We all do it. It's just that black people are more exploited in the media for some reason. For some reason. And the brother said it. If you see something and hear something in the media long enough, you'll start begin to believe it. All this negativity that we see with our culture, our black people, if I didn't know no better, I would think that black people were the only ones out here smoking drugs, shooting and killing, drive-by, snatching and grabbing, credit card fraud, and all that. I would think that just by looking at the news. The news will have you thinking that. But there are others that's doing the same exact thing and worse than us, but it's not exploited at all. Look at our politicians. When our politicians mess up and try to do what the white politicians, they get in trouble. We know all the white politicians are taking bribes and gifts and all that. But when the black ones do it, it get exploited. Oh, look at me, he's bad. So these things that we ought to look at, and we have to be careful, get on code when they start attacking our black women and our black men that's in leadership. But our black men and women that are in leadership, they have to get on code as well. So don't get up here and let the oppressor tell you you better than them. Then when you start believing that, then when they check you and put you in your place, and when you realize that they don't need you anymore, they're done with you, now they want to throw you back to the wolves or whatever. So people, James Brown said it. He said it clear. He said it's a man's world. He said, but he said it would be nothing without a woman. Wouldn't be nothing without a woman. And we know men get paid more than women, that we build, we do a lot of things that a woman can't do. God made it in a woman DNA. He said, I'm going to make her desires be to a man. And he made man to be a provider, till the ground. He got to work. That's what God put us in. That's our nature. But this society, the culture, is teaching us to go against nature. The society have put the black woman in front of the black man. And that's where all this confusion is coming from. The woman could never be a man. The man could never be a woman. Listen, and I hate to say it, but I got to say it. Our women are in control of most of these homes with the children. And look at our black children. Not all of them. It's a wreck. Now, thank God for you parents that your children are civilized and doing the right thing. You haven't lost none of them to the street. Thank God for you. But it's a lot of parents have lost their children to street violence, selling drugs, or to all types of things. Single parent homes. And some of them have the attitude that I don't need no man. But take in mind, you're right. You're an adult. You probably don't need no man. But what about your children? They need a man. They need a male role model. You're an adult, mother, mama, and you don't need no man. You tired, you fed up, and I understand. And you're not gay. You just say, hey, I don't need no man right now. And I understand it. But your children need a man. They need a role model. Somebody that they can look up. They can't be what they can't see. And we cannot allow the women to indoctrinate the children to turn their backs against the fathers. A lot of these children look at their father as nothing, as being a deadbeat or nothing. But what the children don't know, that the person that your mom telling you who your father is not the real father. They're not going to tell those secrets. And I'm not trying to bash the women. A lot of women are carrying secrets to the grave. They're not telling their children that, hey, me and your father really didn't have no relationship. We was creeping. We was sneaking. A lot of these women are not going to tell that their children that, hey, your father was a married man and I was dealing with him. But they're not going to tell this. And I'm not just picking on the women. And the men are not going to claim some of these babies that they know that they have out here. They're not going to do it. They'd rather pay the child support and not get involved into the child's life. I'll just pay and keep it a secret. Keep it away from their wife or their girlfriend. You got some men that deny their children just to be in a relationship with a woman. They won't do anything for their biological children, but do everything for their stepchildren or their child, their girlfriend children. That's hypocritical. Men, I'm talking about men now, because I don't want nobody to think I'm just beating up on women. Men, we have to do better. We have to stand up. And women, let me give you a word of advice. You shouldn't have to love men and submit to men on conditions. You got to be wise. You got to be wise when you dating. And the man should follow you. It should choose you. Period. And we can't not emasculate our men, our little boys. And I tell women, the type of man that you desire, you should be raising your son to be that man for another woman in this society. Vice versa. Or your daughter too as well. Men too. If you want your son and your daughter to be married and all that, you should be married. You should be the prime example the way you want your son and daughter to be. Lead by example. Nobody can take that from you or take that away from you. But when you are having babies everywhere and everywhere, now when your daughter start having 4 or 5 different baby daddies, now you upset as a father. But she's only doing what she's seen you do. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it, people. I appreciate you guys for coming on tonight. I listened to understand. I really didn't listen to respond too much. And that's where we have to know the difference. We have to listen to understand and sit back and evaluate. Some things don't need to be comment on. Just take it and say, just hold it. Say, you know, why did that sister say that? I'm going to think about it. I'm going to consider what she said. We both, the men and the females, the women and the men on this live tonight, both had some great suggestions, great truths and everything. So I don't want nobody thinking that I'm lopsided, I'm favoring one side or something like this side or that side, but it's the truth, people, that I'm seeking after. And if the truth offend you, it offend me, so be it. We can't call that bashing. It's the truth. And the truth will always make us and set us free, people. And we got to grow as a family. We got to unite. And remember, we don't need every black person to be 100% on board. We need the majority of blacks so we can get some things done as a group. As a group. Now, we ain't going to be able to take everybody with us because some folks going to be defiant. Some folks going to want to stay with the oppressor. They want to move with the oppressor. They want to go back and report to the oppressor what we're trying to do. So we're going to have those. So we have to Look forward. We got to work together. We got to love on each other, people, males and females. Again, if y'all don't forget nothing I said tonight, remember, men, you don't have to have no woman. Females, women, you don't have to have no man, but your children do. They need that model. They need that role. They need that male role model. They need that woman role model. They cannot be what they don't see. That's all I'm saying. Because if we don't choose them a superhero, if I use that word, they're gonna choose one themselves, and it might not be the one that you like. Remember, we got the neighborhood drug dealers awaiting, and they passing out jobs to neighborhood drug dealers. Come on, work for me. I'm gonna give you $250 a week. All you gotta do is hold this gun. All you gotta do is hold the package. When I call you, you drop it off. Or all you have to do is come pick up the money when I tell you to do it. Or keep the safe. Or let me bag up in your house. See, the neighborhood drug dealers are passing out jobs. Real talk. You got the gang bangers, the gang. They looking for a new shooter. They looking for a new send-off man. You got those that are users, addicted to drugs. They're looking to find other people to hook them on drugs so they can join them with them so they can purchase drugs. You know, when a person first gets hooked on drugs, they don't go out there and start buying drugs. They have little runners. The runners go out there. They have little runners to go get the drugs because they're ashamed. They don't want anyone to know that they're using drugs. Now, until they get that full addictive behavior and everybody find out that they're on drugs now they don't care. They're going out there and purchasing. But y'all know I'm telling the truth. So we have so many obstacles out there waiting on us out there, waiting on our children. And it's our job as men to protect our children from these elements. We can't go along with all these bad behaviors. We can't do it, men. We have to protect our children. We have to protect them. And that's my story, people. I got to get out of here. Y'all see my cue. You already know what it is. Peace out. Thank y'all so much.
Peace
Uncut, unedited. Tell the truth.
And what?